Hi, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Bookmas Day. I don't even know what day it is anymore, I'm losing track. But on today's little festive episode of Bookmas, I am going to be doing a Christmas reading vlog. I have 4 Christmassy books on my physical TBR that I would love to get through in this month, and it is currently December 1st as I'm starting to film this, so the perfect time to start getting into the holiday spirit. And you just saw me reading Love Light Farms. This is like a best friends to lovers, small town fake dating. And I've heard that this one is really, really cute. And then, like, the rest of the books in this little interconnected standalone series are really cute with all the characters. So I thought this would be really good to start out with because I feel like this is a pretty popular Christmas romance. It's been pretty popular for the last few years. So I was like, I should probably finally hop on the bandwagon for this one and get it read. And I feel like it will just give Christmassy vibes. I think it's like a Christmas tree farm or something. The other books on my TBR that I want to get to in this video are Make Oh, I almost dropped it. Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. I think this one is two exes are kind of trapped together for the holidays and they are kind of enemies because they're exes, obviously. So I thought that one would be really fun. Also, The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore. This is the third book in the Dream Harbor series, and this is like small town romance. So I didn't love the first two books, but I think this one will be good just to get into the Christmas spirit, and I might like this one more because it's kind of just setting the vibes for the season instead of actually being like a good read. Like, as long as the vibes are there, I feel like it'll be good. So lots of romances right there. I do have one more Christmassy book, and that is The Book Club Hotel. And this one's more so like a women's fiction, contemporary fiction. So this one's going to be more sad and heartwarming than like a romance. So I don't know. I feel like reading 3 romances in a row this week might be a little tough just because I usually like to read more fantasy or thriller and then break it up with romances. So reading this many romances in a row might be a challenge for me, but since they're all Christmassy, I think I can do it. So stick around for the rest of today's video if you want to see me read these Christmassy books and learn my thoughts on them as I'm reading them and after I read them, because maybe you'll want to read them too this holiday season. Why, hello. Welcome to reading update number 1 of today's Christmas book reading vlog. I have really just been reading a little bit throughout the day. I've been working on some other YouTube stuff, been working on some other TikTok stuff, but I have gotten a good bit of the way in. I am on page 153, chapter 14, so things are definitely progressing. Things are picking up. It's definitely like slower burn. Not like slow burn, but like a little bit of a slow burn. So we're finally picking things up. It's definitely like getting to the holiday spirit. We kind of start out around beginning of November, then toward Thanksgiving time. So we're not like in Christmassy time yet, but we're getting there. It's around that season, you know? But basically, this is about Stella, who owns the Christmas tree farm, Love Light Farms, and she needs like a loan or just more money in general for the farms. So she like enters in this contest or something on social media to try and get this lady, I think her name is Evelyn, she's like this social media girl, to get her to pay for like a renovation for the farm. But on that application or whatever, Stella says that she owns the farm with her boyfriend, which is not true. Stella doesn't even have a boyfriend. She doesn't own it with anyone else but herself. So she asks her best friend of like a decade, Luca, to fake date her and act like they're this happy couple when Evelyn, the social media girl, comes to like not evaluate, but like see if they will be chosen for the money or whatever needs to be done for the farm. So their relationship is really cute. Like, you can tell that they are friends of a decade. They're just like friendly banter back and forth all the time. They know each other so well. And kind of going into this fake relationship, like, it doesn't really seem like it's any different than just being friends. I mean, obviously it's a little bit awkward with some more of like intimacy stuff. They're a little awkward with at first, but overall it's pretty cute. You know, they're faking it for like the rest of the town to see, the rest of the world to see, so that all the townspeople are like in on the ruse, you know, so it actually seems legit and it doesn't just seem like they're trying to trick this social media lady. But then they're also like, okay, we might want to practice behind the scenes too, like behind closed doors, because what if we're super awkward just like out in public because, you know, we haven't been practicing per se. So I think the lines between real and not real are going to become blurred very fast. They're kind of giving it like a trial run of actually dating in this like week or two span. So again, it's fun, it's cute, it's definitely fluffy, it's going by fairly quick. I mean, I would say the writing style is a little, I don't know, I don't think it's the best writing style per se. Not that the writing itself is bad, the writing itself is pretty good, but I feel like sometimes it's just clunky, if that makes any sense. But sometimes I'm reading it and I'm like, that probably could have flowed a little bit better, but I'm no author, so like, don't take my critiques to heart. And this is the author's debut novel, so it makes sense if one of their books is going to be a little clunky, it would be their first book, right? But other than that, it does go fairly quick. There's just times when I'm like, okay, can we maybe get to the point or get back to the plot of the fake dating? Because I feel like there's a lot of different little side plots going on, like Stella and then employees at the farm, and then Stella and other townspeople, and then Luca and his mom. Like, there's a lot of different little side quests going on, it feels like, and I'm like, I just want to get to the fake dating. I want to get to Stella and Luca. Like, that is all I care about right now. So that's my little update. I am probably going to be done reading for the night, but then I will start reading more tomorrow. So I will see you back soon with another reading update. Alrighty, it is a little while later today, and I am glad to say that I finished Love Light Farms today. This was a little bit of a struggle to get through. I was kind of bored with it. It felt like I was pushing myself through to read it and just picking it up to get it done, not really for enjoyment. Like, there were so many other things I wanted to do except read this book, and usually that's not like me because I love reading and reading is what I want to do all the time. But when it's a book that I'm not enjoying, it's difficult. I really feel like I don't have too much else to say about this book. I mean, Luca and Stella just keep doing their whole little fake dating arrangement throughout the week, and there's just like miscommunication in it. Like, Luca has wanted to be with Stella for years. Stella has wanted to be with Luca, but like won't accept her feelings and is lying to herself basically about wanting to be with Luca. And it's like so infuriating because Luca is like, I want to be with you, I love you, yada yada yada, and Stella's like, no, stop lying to me, like stop saying those things. And it's like, girl, why else would he keep saying them if it wasn't the truth? And it's like, I did not like Stella's character that much. And I feel like I figured out why this book feels so clunky, and it's because it is so wordy. Like, there are so many words in this book with so little being said. And I don't mean like so little dialogue. Like, there's a decent amount of dialogue. I would like to see more dialogue, but just like random words. I don't know, you guys. Like, that really just takes you out of the setting. It takes you out of the book. And when something is so clunky and wordy like that, you're just like not reading. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you're not grabbing that information and putting it in your brain. You're just like reading the words, if that makes any sense at all. I do really like Luca. I think he's very sweet. I like his family. His mom is really funny. I really liked her character, even though we don't see a lot of it. I did like it. Yeah, he's really sweet. He would do anything for Stella. They've been friends, like I said, for a decade, and even though they're not actually dating, like, Luca would just treat Stella that well anyways. I don't know. I feel like I might land on like a 2.5 or 3 star rating because it was cute. I liked the whole fake dating aspect. I would have loved to see more of their like fake dating because I feel like Luca was gone for a lot of the book. And like they'd just be on phone calls or then he'd come back into town to visit, and I would have liked to see more of that. And like Stella is fake dating Luca to try and save her Christmas tree farm, right? To get this money for its repairs. But I feel like that actual aspect of Stella with this social media person and trying to win that money is not that big of a deal in the book, even though like that's the whole reason for the book. So I would have liked to see that a little bit more as well. And I feel like there's not a ton of Christmassy things in this book other than she owns a Christmas tree farm. Like, otherwise the rest of it takes place in like early November. So I'm definitely not quite getting the Christmas vibes that I was hoping for, but it was all right. I think it's a really cute idea, but it was just not executed well. Then I started Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake, and I'm about 100 pages in. This one is about Charlotte and Brighton, who are exes. They're actually like childhood friends to lovers, but they broke up on their wedding day. They were supposed to get married, and Brighton leaves Charlotte at the altar, and it's been 5 years since they've seen each other now, but they just happen to be going to the same Christmas. So Charlotte is friends with Sloane because she's in like a string quartet with her, I think. Brighton is friends with Adele, who Adele owns a bar, and then Brighton works at this bar because she was in a band, but then the band kind of kicked her out a year ago, so she's been working for Adele. And Sloane and Adele are sisters. Sloane convinces the whole like string quartet band or whatever to go home with her for the holidays, and then Adele convinces Brighton to go home with her for the holidays. So everyone's going to the same home. But like I said, Charlotte and Brighton have not seen each other in the 5 years since their wedding day. Obviously, things are awkward. Obviously, there's tension, and we don't really know why Brighton left Charlotte at the altar yet, but I think we're getting there. So this one is definitely more interesting, definitely better Christmassy vibes going on here, definitely more fun, like fun Christmas dates that we're seeing. But like I said, that tension and that angst of these exes. So I'm honestly excited to see where this one goes and see if we learn some juicy stuff. Alright, you guys, I have finished the second book for today's video, which was Make the Season Bright. And this one is like everything that you could possibly want in a little Christmas rom-com. I mean, this was really cute. Just like the Christmas vibes, I really loved a lot more than Love Light Farms because like the vibes weren't there. But this one has the Christmas vibes, like so much Christmas spirit, Christmas magic. Literally takes place like a few days before Christmas and then over Christmas, and then toward the end you jump a few months, but it's literally like the last few chapters. So like almost the whole entire book takes place the week of Christmas, and again, it is so fun. This is like a Hallmark movie, but make it spicy, because Charlotte and Brighton have some spicy moments. That's all I'm gonna say. I really like the second chance romance sometimes. Like, sometimes I don't love it because I don't really see the couples actually working out. And this is like kind of one of those times, because let me just say, if I got left at the altar for the reason that Brighton left Charlotte at the altar, I would not be forgiving the person. And Charlotte forgives Brighton so easily, and it's like, Charlotte, girl, we know the same information here, right? Like, are you joking? You're forgiving her for the lamest excuse for leaving the supposed love of your life at the altar. So I really did not like that. And I, like, again, I wouldn't find it realistic for me to forgive that person and get back together with them. But, like, since Charlotte is so quick to forgive Brighton, I don't know. It kind of makes sense that they get back together, but also it doesn't. That is like a really big thing for this book with me. Also, there were just like some cringy moments, some cringy lines and quotes that were said, but overall, this was flirty. This was fun. It has the Christmas vibes. It has, both the main characters are like musical artists, so I really enjoyed that part of it as well because I love music myself. So it was just fun to kind of learn about their backgrounds a little bit. Like, this one is definitely a fun rom-com, but it also has depth to the characters. These characters have background stories. They are feeling these different emotions based on their lives and other emotions and feelings that they've had throughout their lives, other ways that they have been treated. And like, it makes sense why the characters are the way that they are and how they cope with those things, how they move past those things. So I did enjoy that it was, you know, a holiday rom-com, but it also has some emotional depth to the characters as well. I really like Charlotte as a character, other than her forgiveness. Brighton, again, I feel like she's a pretty lousy girlfriend, lousy fiance. I feel like she doesn't really deserve a second chance, but Their relationship is really cute. They have over a decade of history together, so like that also plays into it. And just seeing their relationship evolve throughout the years, because you get little flashbacks and glimpses into their life together before they were broken up for these 5 years, and that is really sweet. And it does kind of make you realize, like, okay, maybe this isn't just a relationship that you should throw away. But again, if it was me getting left at the altar for Brighton's reason, nope, we're done. We are done. I think I'm going to land on a 4-star rating for this one. Again, there are just some things that I disliked about it and some cringy moments, but overall, I would definitely recommend this one for reading around the holiday season. I feel like it got me into the Christmas spirit a little bit more, so that is kind of the goal. So far we have had one kind of iffy read and one pretty good read. We will see what the next read of this video brings. Hello, happy Friday when I am currently filming this. I started The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore last night, and I've been reading a little bit more today. I am on chapter 19, page 221, so definitely getting through it pretty quick. Like the other Lori Gilmore books, they're all super fast-paced, super quick, easy reads. And I will say, so far, this one is definitely my favorite of the series. I think the writing is just better overall. I feel like the writing in the other two books is too juvenile almost. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. I just don't really like the writing style in the other two books. So I feel like it's definitely progressing and getting better. Also, a moment for this cover because it's actually like reflective. I think that is so pretty. And this one isn't false advertising like the Cinnamon Bun bookstore. This one actually takes place during Christmas, so we love that. This is about Bennett, who is the brother of the female main character in the first book, and Kira, who has just moved to small town Dream Harbor from Georgia, and she bought the town Christmas Tree Farm. This is like a reverse Grumpy Sunshine, because in this, Kira is the grump and Bennett is the sunshine, like golden retriever, cinnamon bun. He's so cute. But basically, Bennett is visiting Dream Harbor. He lives in California, I'm pretty sure, but he's visiting his sister for the holidays, and he meets Kira. I mean, like, the whole town, for some reason, this town is just weird. It's literally like Stars Hollow. But they're like, since you're an out-of-towner, you need to go talk to Kira because she won't talk to, like, anyone else in town. She's super closed off, super grumpy, and, like, we don't know what's going on with the Christmas Tree Farm. And Bennett is like, this is not my town, but okay, I guess. Which, like, why is he agreeing to that? I don't know, but he is. And right off the bat, like, their meet cute, I guess, is Bennett is like on the property of her Christmas tree farm, and he thinks it's abandoned. So he's out there with his dogs, taking them on a morning walk, and he runs into Kira. She's like, literally has a blanket wrapped around her outside. Like, that is how they meet. And it's really funny because she's like, I'm gonna sue you for trespassing. Like, they're just not off to a great start right away. So then when the rest of the town is like, go check up on her again, Bennett is like, no, she literally hates me. Like, why would I do that? But he does, like I said, and they kind of sort of hit it off. Bennett is like very much a fixer, but he's trying not to be because he's been in past relationships where his girlfriends just basically use him to do something for them and then they dump him. So he wants to help Kira because she's having troubles with the farm. She has like repairs that she needs done. So he's just a really great like stand-up guy and wants to help her do that. But at the same time, he's like, I need to maybe try and distance myself because I don't want to be like just used, basically. So I feel like there's a lot more character depth and character development in this book than the other two books. So I'm really enjoying that aspect of it. I'm enjoying the Christmas vibes, like there's a big snowstorm, the whole town is going shopping for their Christmas trees. They had a big town tree lighting event. So like definitely a cozy small town holiday romance so far. Again, I like Bennett and Kira's dynamic, just that reverse grumpy sunshine, and how Bennett is kind of breaking Kira out of her shell, and he is just like so sweet because he will say things to her and then Kira will be like, nobody's ever said something like that to me before. No one's ever called me these things before. Like he called her brave and clever, I think, and she was like, people have always called me stubborn and reckless, but never brave and clever. So it's really hitting her different, and I love to see it. I love seeing that wall kind of broken down with Kira. And then with Bennett, I like that he's actually being appreciated for himself and not just being used for Kira or by Kira. So definitely liking this one. I'm gonna keep reading, and of course I will update you guys with more of my thoughts, but this one might be a winner so far. So far, so good. There better not be a third act breakup, but now that I say that, there might be, because like I said, Bennett's from California and then Dream Harbor is on the East Coast. So he's just visiting for a month basically for the holidays. So also, why am I holding it like this? So I don't know what's gonna happen there. We'll have to see, but I'm obsessed with the cover. Just perfect Christmas vibes, and I'm really liking the inside of it so far. There are still a few times with the writing where I'm like, could be better, but overall pretty good and definitely improvement. Alrighty, we have officially finished the final book of today's little reading challenge, or I should say this week's reading challenge of reading only Christmassy books, and I am pleasantly surprised by how much I ended up enjoying this one, just because I haven't loved the first two books of the Dream Harbor series, but this one pulled through. I would maybe even say don't even waste your time on the first two books and just read this one instead if you need a good, like, real grumpy sunshine holiday romance book. I really love how we got to take like a deeper dive into the characters in this book and how we really see their personalities shine through, and we see why they have like this inner turmoil, why they believe these bad things about themselves or ways that they feel about themselves. We really take a deep dive into that, and I can really appreciate that in a romance book, because I love when a romance book can have some more emotional depth to it, and I felt like this one did it pretty well, at least compared to the other books in the series. I'll say this one, just like the other two books, the couples and the trope feels very insta-lovey. This one doesn't feel like as insta-lovey because Kira at least doesn't really like Bennett that much at first. Bennett's kind of indifferent with her, but Kira really doesn't like him, but she also doesn't really like anyone. But then once they do actually like start hanging out and other things, it definitely does feel a little bit more insta-lovey, which I don't love. I'm going to give this one a 4-star rating though, and let's do a little recap of the other books I read in today's video. Started out with Love Light Farms. I was probably most excited for this one, had the highest hopes, highest expectations for this one because I've heard amazing things about it for the last few years, and it's friends to lovers and fake dating. I just thought I would eat it up, but I really disliked the writing style and I feel like we lost the plot. So for that reason, I'm giving it a 2.5-star rating. And then Make the Season Bright. This was the second chance romance, and I can appreciate a good second chance romance, but in this one, it's just like, why are we forgiving and then moving on? Like, why is there forgiveness for what Brighton did to Charlotte? There would not be forgiveness if I were in her shoes. So for that reason, that was a little takeaway for me. I gave it a 4-star rating. But even though Christmas Tree Farm was also a 4-star rating, this was definitely my favorite read of the video just because the Christmas vibes were there. There was more tension because of the grumpy sunshine. It was just really, really cute, pretty lighthearted, other than when we did get glimpses into the characters' heads a little bit and see why they think some things about themselves. Like, this literally feels like a Hallmark movie, but in the best way. Not super cheesy, a little cheesy. Don't get me wrong, a little cheesy, but I feel like every Christmas book is gonna be a little cheesy. But this was like an actual good Hallmark movie, if that makes sense. So if you take anything away from this video, I would definitely recommend reading these 2 books this holiday season. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and please give this video a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel to keep up with Bookmas and just all my other book-related videos that are going to come after Bookmas. I will see you in a few days for the next Bookmas video. Bye!